Welcome to part 5 of this Sunless Sea playthrough. You're playing as the citizen Captain Duncan. And let's go ahead and jump in and see where we were at the end of our last session. We were trying to make money. That was sort of our main goal. We need some spending cash in order to buy and sell goods, basically, to do more of the missions around the world. Let's go ahead and just lower the volume just a little bit. I think I had the music just a bit too high from the previous sessions. We'll go ahead and just knock that down a tad. And we will see where we're at. We've taken a little bit of hull damage. Again, we have 0 supplies back in London with three fuel. We will turn in our port reports first, I suppose. It's always a good thing to do. Isle of Cats. What does the so-called Pirate King have to say? It's the first time we've been to the Isle of Cats? No, it must be the second time, because we didn't gain any favor. Yes, well, we did rather know about his rose. Yeah, we did this one before, okay. We did gain a fuel and 30 echoes. We'll turn on the board reports, and then we'll just kind of take a gander at what we've looked at so far. Visage, we've been there before. This is the second board report. Turn in from there. Salt Line's been there before. Nothing exciting. Baker's Haven, we've been there before. Rosegate was a new one. This was an underwater port. So I'm not sure. There was 2 things we could do with the underwater port reports. We could turn them in London, or there's an underwater town called Low Barnet that's just to the north, where we could use them to engage in some type of a poetry slam story of some sort. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe we'll turn one in here just to see what happens when you turn in the underwater port reports, and then maybe we'll save one if we go up to Low Barnet. It really depends if we're going to go to Low Barnet or not. I guess that's the question. Let's turn. We grabbed. Okay, so what did we do? What did we do last time? Our plan was to get money by delivering. There's like chunks of rock from the Salt Lions at Zealport to London. So we set off, I think, in this direction to get that, to do that first in order to make some money. But when we got there, we found out that you have to give them a deposit of 200 echoes to even do the mission, to pick up the cargo. So we didn't have 200 echoes at the time, so so we just started sort of sailing south. We found Rack, which was an underwater town where there's a couple different stories to progress there. There's one that involved going out, and it sounded like convincing other sailors to come to Rack, and then the Rack will like wreck their ships and salvage them. So kind of like tricking other sailors in the world to come here and get wrecked. There's also some espionage stuff that we didn't engage with. We're more of a straightforward combat-oriented character, so we thought we'd try to do the straightforward mission. I believe, let's see, I have my notes open, I think, here. Yeah. I believe, yeah, so they wanted us to go to Khan's Heart and then start that series of things. So maybe we could do that today. We could head maybe north and clear out some of this fog up here and visit some of these towns along the way. That could be an option. If we do that, we could certainly go to Low Barnet. That is just to the north of us here. Let's turn in the rock stuff that we got here in London. Let's see, where does that turn in? Probably in London somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Deliver Sphinx Stone. Special constables, black uniforms, distinctive caps, the badge of the Ministry of Public Decency. Wait with a cart. Okay, so they're here waiting for us. Sign, sign, sign. Here's a receipt. Here's a discretion contract. Here's a penalty contract. Your vision is blurred by the end of it all. The cart rumbles off into the coiling fog. Here is your reward. Okay, 500 echoes. So we had to give them 200 echoes as a deposit. So we only gained 300, but it's better than nothing. We no longer have Sphinx Stone. They are knocking stones off of the Sphinxes, I guess. Lost 2 terror. Okay. Not sure if this is repeatable. We might be able to do it again. That's only, we could try to do that again. It's not really clear. We can visit the Rose Market. I don't know if we have anything sellable. No, we don't have any Soothing Cooper long boxes or Watchful Curios, so we can't do that at the moment. We have 4 Memories Shores, 2 Z stories, 1 strange catch. We have 10 lamentable relics now. There was something we could do with lamentable relics. We also have intriguing snippets and extraordinary implication. We have a lot of things we can actually turn into this guy. Maybe we could do some of these. I want to look in our study. That's what it was. Yeah, some of these things. If we had one supply, we could actually get this. We'll give you a cabinet that increases your iron by 7. That could be good to do. Yeah, let's, I only have one of those. Okay, yeah, let's get the first. So, our ambition for our character is to write the Song of the Sea. So, whether we end the game doing that ambition or not, I'm not 100% sure yet. Um, it doesn't really say that here, though. It says, become London's most venerated explorer. Determines how you win, although you can always try to draw. Oh, and our Admiralty Commission. Did we do this? No, we haven't been to the Empire of Hands. Okay, so we should probably go east to the Empire of Hands today. Delivery some salt lines. You've been running Sphinx Stones to London. Just kind of get a sense of where we're at on some of the overall meta progression throughout the game. And here's the thing we just talked about with Rack, where we go to a port and convince captains to sail to Rack. Then apparently the wreckers will wreck them. And we have some kind of a relationship with the king. He recognized us in some way. I don't actually understand what he did. Incomparable Aurelian, untouchable man of pins in the jar. In pursuit of rare, I don't even know how to say that word. So I will not try. So we met the tobacconist in Rosegate. We did that last session. He was another underwater. He's an underwater tobacconist. His dream of life was to create a cigar that you can smoke in the water, I guess, or underwater. Yeah, an underwater cigar. Everyone has a dream. I mean, it's good to have a dream. I don't remember. I think I wrote down what he wanted us to do. He has impatience. He won't wait forever. Yeah, here it is. Bring 2 ambiguous Elith, 3 romantic literature, and 1 unread log. I think they were all separate parts of the story, but those are all things that he wanted us to do. Okay, just trying to reorient myself here, get a sense of where we're at, what we should be focusing on for this playthrough. So certainly going east to find the Empire of the Hands is one thing. Let's go ahead and buy some supplies and then let's create the thing we just looked at in our lodgings. The anatomical cabinet. This is going to take 7 of our 10 lamentable relics. Create an anatomical cabinet. You have learned so much. Now create an object lesson that will guide you in the destruction of your enemies. A conversation piece. In the cheerier watches, sailors will gather around it and point out scars, quirks, deformities. Mugs of grog in hand, they will discuss the remains as art critics in a veil-guarded gallery might discuss competent paintings. It cost us 7 secrets. That's right. Which is fine. I mean, it essentially translates to 7 iron, so that's what you do with secrets normally is you train with your officers and they give you basically 1 secret for one of the stats. Anatomical cabinet, death laid out for your careful inspection. So it's an item, I believe, right? Yeah, so it's an item. So we equip it, we gained 7 iron. I don't know if that's the most efficient way to spend 7 secrets along with all the other stuff we traded, but this isn't necessarily a game about being the most efficient. Oh, you can actually use strange catches as items. Lures a submerged Z-beast to the surface. I've never done this. I didn't know this was a thing. Okay. Usable in combat, yeah. Interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish turning in our port reports. We also got a move to the Great Game. Could speak of it to the Dark Speckled Admiral. Let's take a quick look at what that might do, if I have that in my notes or not. Admiral. Moves to the Great Game. Gives you a favor and 30 echoes. That doesn't seem particularly useful. We already have 12 Admiralty's favor. So I think I'll just hold on to that for now. Okay, so it does seem likely we're going to go east. Maybe go explore this way. Go to Khan's Heart, I believe, for the Rack mission. And then we have to find the Empire of Hands, which is somewhere to the east, is all we know. Did I write down any particular notes? Let's see. It just says far to the east, Empire of Hands. Okay. Other options we could do is we could see if that delivery mission is repeatable for the stones. We got 300 money. So to go this far and make it back again, we will need a decent stockpile of money, supplies, and fuel. So we can't really do this whole planned sequence unless we have enough money to make it safely. So yeah, we didn't have a chance to do any of this stuff because we were thinking about doing the Zoop from Mount Palmerston, but that would cost like 70 times 7, some number of, 102. Yeah. I mean, we would need like 21 more money than we had at the time. We do have enough money now. Oh, we have the tomb colonists as well. That's right. We're on a tour with the tomb colonists, and they want to go to Shepherd's Wash. Okay, so yeah, we definitely want to head. Oops, I don't want to rename my ship. Okay, do I have to? I'll just keep it as Azure. I didn't mean to click on that. Okay, so we definitely want to hit okay, so that's over here as well. So Shepherd Isles, Khan's Heart. So these are two things we want to do, and we also want to go to the Far East. Okay, so let's turn in. Let's use our port reports that we got from Rack and Rosegate, which are underwater cities. Let's use them in Low Barnet for now, and see if we can advance that story a little bit, and then that's what we'll do with those two port reports. So I'm not going to turn in those are the only two I had left, right? Just the underwater ones? Yeah, Rosegate and Rack. Okay. Let's see. We could repair. We don't necessarily need to repair at the moment. Oh yeah, vital intelligence. We haven't looked back on whether we can create any of this yet. It was like you had to use the strategic. Oh, well, we turned in our strategic intelligence, so we don't have any. We might have enough of the different things you need to assemble strategic intelligence into vital intelligence now, but it's not relevant at the moment. We're pretty good on sailor. In fact, I don't really want more sailors, but we'll do at least do the new recruit mission. And if there's one sailor here, we'll pick him up. Okay, yeah, let's pick up one sailor. Sure, why not? And we'll do the carouse to docks. It'll help lower our terror for 10 echoes and maybe do a romance. Do we even care about that? Or would we rather just save the 10 echoes? Is there anything else to do with a free evening? In our study, was there anything to do? We haven't gotten the recent news yet. I guess there's nothing else to do with the restful night, or free evening is what it was. Yeah, so I thought that this was our ambition. It says it allows you to retire happily if you have the correct ambition, and is a nifty item in its own right. It requires you to create all these other objects. So we've created one so far. We've created the anatomical cabinet. Also, you have to have port reports from a bunch of different places, but these aren't really relevant until you have created all of, and 77 Z stories, 77 distant memories, 77 tales of terror, 40 secrets. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is basically an ending. So it's one of the large goals in the game you can try to accomplish. We'll work towards it. I mean, again, I'm not sure if that's how we're gonna end the game or not, but it is our character's ambition, I believe. Okay, so the question was, did I want to do the carouse to docks? What happens if you romance one of your officers, and then does this still option? Well, let's just do it. I mean, it only appears. Oh, you were unlucky. You wake in the back room of Gaston's lampery, head pounding. You had something to drink, but beyond that, it's a little hazy. Your knuckles are bloody. Your blood, you think, and your shirt bloody likewise. Probably not yours, unless your blood is slick and greenish. You've had better nights out. A difficult brew, Gaston says, nomically. We did lose 3 terror and 10 echo. Not too exciting, but it was a thing that happened. Okay, so we're not really going to repair. We don't need to sell or buy anything from the labyrinth. We could do some stuff with the scholar. We do need money, so maybe we'll try a few of these turn-ins. Let's see what the lamentable relic does. It's not a scientific curiosity necessarily, but the scholar has a collection or something. A beaming smile. This would be so terribly wasted in an ossuary. He buffs the cranium with the sleeve. This is all of us one day. But let's not be in a tearing hurry about it. Okay, so it's a lamentable relic. It's somebody's skull, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. I think a climbing briar rose will suit this one rather well. A yellow rose, perhaps. Thank you so much. Let's keep it between ourselves. 5 echo and some favor with this fellow. 1 change point, 3 more needed to reach level 4. So 5 echo is not a whole lot. I'm not going to turn any more of these at the moment. I said I don't want to turn in my 1 turn Enigma. We needed an intriguing snippet somewhere in the game. I'm not going to turn these in. Well, let's turn one of each in and see how much money they give us. I probably have it written down, but in fact, let's just take a look what I have in my notes here. This is the scholar. The intriguing snippet will be 50 echo. That's not terrible. Extraordinary implication will be 250 echo. Okay. I mean, we definitely need money right now, so 250 echo is nothing to sneeze at. Give us 2 points of the scent of secrets. I will place it with the others. One day I will have enough. Surely. In fact, I think I'm going to turn in... Well, I'll turn one of these as well. Oh, Zesty. 50 echoes. This one will do very well shared. Thank you. Your payment. I only need one more favor. Maybe I'll just turn in one more thing. Just to see what happens when you get to the next favor. These elemental relics seem like the worst as far as money goes. I'll just turn one of these in. Okay, so it's 4 now. Did that do anything? Does not appear to have opened up any new options. Okay. Well, we're working on it slowly but surely. Do we want to try to get the Zoop on this run? We certainly could. It is worth quite a bit, 1,000 echoes. Yeah, we should probably do this as well. It's a little out of the way from where I wanted to go, but it is generally east, although it's mostly northeast to get to Mount Palmerston. Okay, so we turned in all our port reports. And I've decided I don't want to do this yet. Let's go to the shop, stock up on supplies. Last time we keep running out of supplies, so let's make sure we have enough this time. Hopefully we'll still have enough to buy the echoes in Mount Palmerston. What did I say it was? 7 times 70 or something like that. 490. It'll be close. Maybe we should do one more run of those stones first before we do this. Yeah, let's do that. We just need a little bit more spending money. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to go to the Salt Lions, pick up the... Assuming it's repeatable. I think it is, but there was something about it in our journal here. This thing, deliveries from the Salt Lions. You've been running Sphinx stones to London. The stones are mysterious. Where must you take it? I'd like to have a little more spending cash before I go all the way up to Mount Palmerston, Shepherd Isle, Khan's Heart. Because once I get here, if I spend 490 of my currency and my echoes, I'll have very little left over, right? Like I'll have basically none. If I get 300 more, that'll be a nice little buffer, having an additional 300. So yeah, let's try that. And we're off. Sailing the Unterzee. I don't know if there's any value in sailing underwater. We did find some like wrecks and stuff underwater a few times. And there was like those little streams you can get into and go a little faster sometimes. What is this? An abyss. A chasm gapes beneath your submarine, descending into unknown fathoms. Well, we're right next to town, so it seems like a good time to do anything fancy. I mean, anything dangerous. Let's go ahead and explore the abyss. Deeper. Your helmsman gives you a questioning look. You say nothing. You are unaccustomed to repeating yourself. With a trembling hand, she steers your vessel down. You sink into the abyss like a coffin into a grave. Stony walls rise about you. Your vessel's light picks out beds of undulating anemones. Good luck. What are you hoping to find in these depths? The abyss of graves. Shelves have been cut into the rock walls. Some are large enough to hold ancient waterlogged ships, crusted with long dead barnacles. Others are smaller, holding pairs of clay coffins and a smattering of grave goods, jugs and bowls. We could rest in one of the graves, a very chancy challenge. This fight will increase your veils by 20, but decrease your hearts by 10. Succeed or fail, you will gain the right, but failure will also increase your terror. Well, that is a net 10. Or we could dive deeper. Succeed or fail, you will go deeper, but a failure will damage your hull. Well, our hull's not in any current danger. A true sailor will find the Z as comfortable as any bed, it is said. Exchange 10 hearts for 20 veils. A very chancy challenge. Or we could dive deeper. Unlocked with abyssal rights no more than 0. So apparently you only be able to do this right once. That's what how I'm interpreting that. Well, this will happen regardless. We'll just get. I mean, let's just try it. I mean, it's a net 10 stats. I mean, it can't be that bad. You don your diving gear. You lie in an empty shelf cut from the stone. Your crew will watch over you in 7-minute shifts. They'll have you out before 21. You close your eyes. The Z weighs heavy. It takes till the 7-minute bell before you slip into sleep. She lies next to you. The black hem of her skirt drifts like clouds of ink. In the dark, you can just make out her pale lips. She speaks. Invisible fingers tighten in your hair. You beg release. She laughs. The strident clanging of a bell jolts you awake. The 21-minute warning rings wantonly. A sailor drags you into the safety of your hole. We failed the challenge, but we did gain the 20 veils and lost 10 hearts and 5 terror. We have now partaken in the rite of feasting. You are not as you were before. That is somewhat ominous. You may only benefit from one rite at a time. You could forsake... And now this is harder because I've lost hearts. You can only benefit from one rite at a time. So we could forsake the one we have and get a different one, potentially. Let's dive deeper once just to see what happens here. We succeeded that one at least. Deeper still, your helmsman's response is unjustifiably foul-mouthed, but she assents. Your submarine's pinprick of light shines in onto a cliffside, illuminating only a spot of vast inverted cathedral, a fathomless church. Good luck. So we are here. This is the same description. Perform the ritual of solace. Perform the rituals in the correct order will lead to a discovery. This one's locked. You need abyssal rights approaching her ladyship 3 and no more than 3. Performing the abyssal rituals in the correct order will lead to a discovery. Okay, so this is the ritual of solace. Is this like a location or is it just random? It doesn't look like it's a location. So we have to find a different ritual site first, is how I'm reading this. This is the third one, the ritual of solace. But we have to do them in the correct order, so we have to find the other ones. Rising. With every meter climbed, you feel the probability of you meeting an untimely death decline, from absolutely certain to just likely. I don't think that's related to this, right? These are different than the other thing. Okay, well, we drifted out of the maw. Do we want to stop at Button Island to get the port report? I mean, we may as well, although we're going to be coming back this way anyway. Oh, it still says the Abyss. Well, maybe it is right here. Oh yeah, it is right here. Is it related to this? Oh yeah, Bad Stevener's Abyss. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's make a note of that then. I didn't realize that was a thing. Let's go here. Abyss. Abysses? Abyssi? We'll just do Abyss. So 3 is Bad Stevener's Abyss. So apparently that's the third one, or it requires 3. I guess that would make it the 4th one, actually. We'll see what it says when we get more of them. There's one here. That doesn't have a name. There's one here. Oh, there's a name thing here. It doesn't say Rift. I mean, it doesn't say Abyss, but it says Rift. Something up here. Okay. Bad Stevener's Abyss. A lot of interesting and dangerous dangerous things in this game. You never know what's going to happen. The observation dome is silent. Your navigator's breath is loud in the stillness. I think your terror in general goes up higher underwater just because it's like it's always in the red, basically. Feels like it at least. Or we've been to this area multiple times. Figure's Haven, it's like a suburb. That's how it's described. Oh, but something has changed. Time has passed. Time passes on Mutton Island. Has something changed? The Z's are always in motion. Yeah, what happened to all the options here? Mutton Island bustles. Villagers scurry on countless errands. The smell of baking fish wafts from ovens. Locals touch the whitewash on their cottages. Bunting crowns the village. Down on the shore, a band practices, and beyond, among the rocky shoals around the island, drownies begin to congregate. Uh-oh. Ask about, sorry, much too busy, a royal visit, you look for someone else. In the way, you manage to get a few moments' attention from the custodial chef. It's the fruits of the Z festival, he tells you, the 30th. 30 were promised, 30 delivered. Now his complexity comes to visit our fair island. He turns to a hurrying fisherman who struggles under a bound of bunting. Is that all there is? More bunting, he screeches. More bunting. You'll get nothing from Mutton Island at the moment. Did lose 5 terror, gained a snippet and a story. But something apparently has changed on Mutton Island. Quaker's Haven is quiet. Is the festival over? Something is wrong. Where is the chimney smoke? Where are the people? After the festival, Mutton Island rests silently under the fall stars. No smoke rises from the chimneys. No feet tread on the trees. No ruddy-cheeked locals trade rustic aphorisms on the jetty. What has happened? Explore the shore. What's that on the beach? Investigate the cock and magpie. Investigate the hill. Investigate the village composed a poor report. Brief though it might be. Little to report. Still here, still sodden, empty as a politician's promises. Okay, let's explore the shore. Laces and soles. Shoes litter the length of the shore and bob in the sighing surf. Sunday best boots, solid farmer's shoes studded with hobnails, small, neat children's shoes with gleaming buckles. Whatever the inhabitants went, they went barefoot. We're gaining terror for all this stuff, but oh well. Drunk dry. Most of the brasses still hang on the beams, but now they are joined by an incongruous studding of barnacles. Behind the bar, the floor is littered with empty bottles. You test the beer kegs, also empty. The cellar is flooded with 3 feet of Z-water. Drowned rats float slowly across the surface. So they drank all the alcohol, must have had a good time. Investigate the hill. The effigy. The hill is strewn with dead fish. Silvery scales shine under your lamp. Glassy eyes glint. You come across the old stone well and peer in. The water is high. A salt reek rises from it. On the hilltop, a wicker figure stands. Oh, it's like a wicker festival. Burning Man kind of thing. Anyways, when it was built, it must have been 10 foot high, and now it has slumped and sagging. The paper mache of its skin has slowed away, but it still wears a knobbly crown of coral. Okay. So we investigated all the things. We haven't explored the village. What is this? Entertain your crew's terrified speculations. Requires 3 Z stories. Unlocked when the heirs of Mutton is blockaded. The Connate's flag can fly over Mutton Island. Apparently the Connate can take over Mutton Island. Or if they're having a party or you're exploring. I don't know which of these things I'm currently doing. Just out of curiosity, does that show up in here? Yeah, here he is in Mutton Island. It's deserted. Time is passing. Okay. Let's finish this first. You explore the village. You wander through the empty, winding streets. Z-weed hangs from windowsills. Thatches are sodden. Drenched bunting hangs limply from the eaves. No one's home. You check house after house and don't find a soul. The carpets squelch underfoot, oozing Z-water. The curtains drip. No valuables have been left behind, no jewelry, no heirlooms, but there is still cutlery in the drawers, plates and bowls stacked in the damp, stinking cupboards. Something rattles in a coal scuttle. You tip it over and a crab crawls out. It peers around, clearly lost. Okay. I guess we'll entertain our crew's terrified speculations. Each of them has a theory about what happened on the island. Unlikely tales. So we've gained 4 tales of terror but lost 3 Z stories. A sprightly deckhand blamed Storn. He's always gustin' and blusterin' round here. The islanders must have angered him. A craggy crewman shakes his head. No, it were well of it were that well of theirs. There was something waiting in the bottom of it, and it finally climbed out. Psh! Scoffs a solemn stoker. Mark my words, this is the work of the Fathom King, and his complexity only takes what's offered. Okay. Okay, well. Things have changed on Mutton Island, apparently. Alright, we're off to the Salt Lions. Guess we'll go underwater again. I mean, there's nothing in between here over land, so... Well... do it under the water instead. Do our little traversal here. We have our sonar pulses on. Find things in the... Oh, here's a little stream, but it's going the opposite direction, so we'll try to avoid it. It seems to slow you down quite a bit when you go into it and you're not following it in the same direction. Try to avoid that. What's this thing here? Looks like some canisters or crates or, I mean, barrels of some sort. Plus one fuel. Can't complain about that. What's this over here? Is it gonna be a battle thing? No, it looks like a sea mine or something. I'm guessing you don't want to crash into those. Doesn't seem like something you would want to crash into. It's sparkling mightily, like it really wants you to check it out, but I choose not to. Just take a quick look at what this is and then we'll rise up here. Is this a combat thing? It looks like it is, right? It's got 260. It's a wreck ship. Think we can kill it? Hopefully get some loot out of it. There's something else over here, but focused on one thing at a time here. This guy doesn't appear to have any rear cannons. He seems to be stuck. I'm running out of oxygen as well. You've defeated a wreck ship. There, it makes a much more convincing wreck now that you're finished with it. Send a boarding party. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Destroy them utterly. Well, I want their loot, so I'm not going to destroy them utterly. Quick as you like. You can't prepare a boarding party. Any plane goes out the portal the minute your boots touch the deck of a strange vessel. In this case, it seems the pirates like to play dead in person as well. Fortunately, your crew aren't the kind to be fooled twice. They return with clean cutlasses and bloodied boots. Some are even smiling. 1 supply, 1 fuel, 2 supply. Oh, 150 echoes. Okay, yeah, that was profitable. We're running a little low on oxygen. Plus, this, whatever this thing is swimming away from us or sailing away. So we were trying to help the folks of Wreck, but I guess they didn't really recognize us. Okay, so this is still available. Good. Get the port report. We've done this before. We'll visit the unmakers. We've done this before, and we will collect some cargo. So now, wait, can you do more? Can you do it more than once? Oh wow, you can do it multiple times as long as you have room. Okay, yeah, we got more room. Yeah, I mean we can. This ship, the one thing this ship can do is hold a lot of cargo. Well, this is gonna turn out to be very profitable for us. Well, I mean, semi-profitable at least. Just out of curiosity, is it still here? It is still here. Okay. Well, back to London. Like I said, it was going to be a short... I didn't realize you could do multiple trips at once, but that turned out to be... I probably should have stocked up less supplies, so I could actually have carried more. Like I could have had 10 less fuel and 10 less... There's another pirate. I'd definitely take a little pirate guy. Maybe we could have 10 less fuel and 10 less supplies. We could have done this one more time. Didn't know that. Was not aware you could do multiple trips at once. So this one's got 180. It's not a pirate. Doesn't mean we can't take it, but it just means it's a little more dangerous. Try to keep it off to its bow. Fire from its bow, apparently. Only did 5 damage to us, though. That's not very much. It's trying to run away. You will not get away. Sorry, fellow. You defeated an Chaos-class vessel. Alright. Oh, it's something to do with the pirate poet. Investigate the wreckage or leave the wreckage. Well, we're definitely going to salvage whatever we can. You steer close, shining your lamp on the debris. Captain, quick, over here, port side. The pirate poet. The legendary clay woman corsair. She clings tight to the last scraps of floating debris, defeated but defiant. We could either salvage the cargo or rescue the poet. Well, claim a bounty. We have heard of her. She hunts far from London, picking off both other pirates and travelers who have sailed too far. Throw her a rope, claim a bounty. The price of freedom. It takes 3 crewmen to pull the pirate poet from the Z's clutches, while others mutter about bringing an unfinished man or unfinished woman aboard the ship. She just smirks. She carries little on her, but the verses of poetry tattooed over every visible inch, and an old sword almost as chipped as she is. Fortunately, her salvaged possessions also include the jangling money purse on her belt, fat and ready to pay the traditional freedom price of her current bounty. As much as the crew could subdue her, all are relieved once she is aboard a lifeboat, rowing away through the darkness towards Gator's Morn. We have now defeated the pirate poet. You have a rival at sea. And 400 echoes. Okay, well, I mean, we are really making money this game compared to this session compared to our last few sessions. In which we were stranded, broke, and basically almost dead. Now we got tons of cargo in our hold, and we just got 400 echoes from capturing a pirate. Oh, how the tides have turned. I wonder if I want to hit Hunter's Keep and Low Barnet just to get the port reports. Oh, I want to turn in some of the port reports at Low Barnet. Yeah, so let's definitely do that, I think. I could go back here again, even though I could. It's only a little bit out of the way, but we just did that, so I probably should have done it, but sometimes you just want to move forward and not min-max everything. Oh, there's some UI bug where this thing keeps collapsing. Not sure what that is exactly. I haven't really been min-maxing my terror today. This guy doesn't do anything. He's like an emergency fuel. We did him before. Wasn't very interesting. I'm gonna go to Low Barnet first. May not actually go to Hunter's Keep, because I'd have to get another something awaits. And just have to like sit there. I mean, it's 1 fuel, you get the port report's worth 1 fuel, but 1 fuel is only like 10 echoes or something. Low Barnet. Go ahead and go under the water here. There's one of these purple things. That's something lost fragments and terror or something when we hit it. Not sure if it always does that or not. Okay, so what can we do now that we are here with the port reports? We'll get this port report first. Explore the church. We've done this before. Again, just a port report. So trade story. I think this is what we want to do because we need at least storyteller 4 to participate in the contest. And then to do this, we need 3 contests. Okay, yeah. So we're not going to be able to do all of these because we only have 2 of these, right? We have, speaking of Rothgate, which is an exceptional cigar shop. luxuriously rolled. You describe the gleaming cabinets of cigars, the impressions of far-flung places conjured by each puff, the uplifting bite of freshly cut grass under surface sun, the dark whiff of light-lit cellars stacked with mushroom wine, the sweating, savage sense of London's flesh pots. Your audience inhales in unison, savoring imaginary smoke. Okay, we've told them about Rosegate. We have one storyteller. Is it repeatable? It looks like it is, as long as you have no more than 6. Are they all no more than 6? Yeah. So it looks like you can basically turn it up to 6 port reports here. We'll turn in our rack one. If nothing else, you could warn them not to visit. New heights. You describe a city built from shipwrecks, a colossal, tipsy tower lashed together by sentient weed. The weed commands the city's inhabitants to wreck more and build higher. The tower has already broken the surface and is extending towards the cavern roof. Only last week it caught its first dirigible. Didn't look like that when we were there, but sure, why not? Okay, so we need at least 2 more underwater port reports to get up to 4 storyteller before we can do more stuff here. Yeah, you need at least 4, you have 2. You need 7 for whatever this is. Okay, well, we will continue doing that as we play through the game. Okay, well, we do have the something aways quality. We may as well just go up here quickly to get the port report up here then, because we didn't end up using it there. We've gotten all 3 of the familiarity with the 3 sisters here. I'm minorly curious to see what happens if you go here when you already have. No, I think we already did that once, actually. Never mind. I think we've been here. Yeah, we can lunch in with the sisters. Get the port report, of course. One of them gets rid of terror. I think it was Lucy. One of them can raise your iron, but our iron's already pretty high. We'll just stick with Lucy because she's the one who's the least terror. She's sunny and restless and prone to giggles. She's the one that has the most effect on terror, it seems. Pretty sure we already had Stone's Tension. Got 1 supplies. 1 supplies is definitely not nothing. We no longer have something awaits. We could tell them the news. I guess we're going back to London anyway. I guess we're going back to London anyway. We actually haven't done this yet. Knock and wait. You ask the sulphur-eyed maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message that their headaches are cured and you're invited to lunch. The air trembles. You receive this from time to time as you travel the sea. Wait, so it's just like... Okay, I'm not actually sure. Usually I save our news for when we go out sailing, but because we're heading back to London anyway, we may as well just use it here. That was actually a pretty profitable exchange we did there. We got rid of 20 terror. And now we have 0 terror, and we got 2 supplies out of it. I have to remember that if you have terror and news, this is a good place to just stop in before you head back to London. I mean, I knew that was... I'd taken notes on what those exchanges entail. I just hadn't really planned out the implications of how to use it effectively, you know, as part of a voyage. Yeah, seems pretty useful actually. It makes sense that it's like near London. It's just a way for you to like not lose the game, especially when you're a new player. Like I said, this game's very difficult when you're a new captain with no supplies or anything. No notes about. I mean, the notes are almost like having notes is almost more important than like knowing things that you can do in the game. Oh, I didn't have something away. It's gosh darn it. Yeah, I docked just like a second too early. Does it matter? Do I need something awaits here? I'm trying to think. We'll just wait here and get it. Oops, dang it, I didn't mean to hit that. I'm gonna turn my light on or off, one of the two, but I want to just idle in this other light over here so I can save. I want this to be green because I'm in the light, but I don't want to spend any fuel. I'm wasting hunger here, but I want the something awaits thing. I'll probably have to wait about 30 seconds or so. I'm not sure exactly how long it takes, but I guess I could turn the boat around while I wait. exciting stuff. Just sitting here feeding my crew while we wait for something to happen. I mean, it was bad that I docked without getting it. That's not bad. It's just it doesn't give you the option to do whatever story things. It happens. Yeah, we don't have any cargo. We already know that. Get our like none of this would have happened if we didn't have the something awaits thing. Which I guess I don't know if that's even bad or not. All right, we'll just do a quick port. If we didn't get any new port reports, we'll just turn in these ones really quickly. Been to all these places before. We didn't complete any of the Admiral's quests. We have a lot of Sinkstone to deliver. Oh, we delivered it all at once. Okay, great. We now have 2007 echoes. Great. I'll have to click on that multiple times. We usually don't need to get rid of Terror. We're not going to do the... We could actually spend our free evening here. Okay, so you can get different buyers. Oh, sure, why not? And we have Shintalak. We only have one left, but... I mean, we need money, so... 105 echoes. We didn't get any of this from this guy. We didn't get anything... I mean, we got more stories and stuff, but... We're not immediately trying to progress that character's story. Let's get our recent news again. Oh, and supplies. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at our study. I'm assuming we haven't got any of the other things we can build yet. We don't even have 7 secrets, right? Yes, that's... And we also don't... I mean, we also don't have any of the other requirements. Okay, let's not spend too much time here. Supplies and fuel, we're okay on those. Hull strength, we're okay on that. Probably buy a few more. 17, 13. Let's buy some more supplies. Are we gonna do? I feel like we have enough money. We don't have to go to. We don't have to go to the Sphinx area again. So let's go ahead and stock up for a bit more of a longer journey then. How many candles? Sometimes it can be beneficial to have a candle. There's also other ship parts we could buy. Like we still have the first lamp. I don't know if we have quite the spending money to upgrade these. We have this engine. In the very first session we looked at how effective it was to buy these different things, so I think we'll just keep that one. There are more expensive ones, but this is the gun we started with from our previous character. Oh, there's a different engine here for 5,000, but we can't afford that. Okay, yeah, I don't think we're gonna buy. We don't have like free slots or anything. We already have an aft gun, a deck gun, a decent engine. Okay, I just want to take a quick look if there were any boat upgrades that were worth considering. There was some quest that wanted coffee beans. Could buy some coffee beans before we leave. Oh, it was the Khanate, which is where we're going actually. Khan's Glory or something. These are Khan's Glory or Khan's Heart. I don't remember which one, but okay, we'll just buy. We have a little bit of spending cash now, and we're heading that direction anyway. So let's buy 5 of the coffee beans. We didn't make a note of that last time, or not last time, but the time that we were there with the Khanate. There are some different dialogue options with this character around having certain numbers of clothing. We just got rid of our Shintalak. We actually could have done this. We probably should have done this instead of what we do with our Shintalak. We probably should have bought a bolt of spider silk and used our strange catch to get whatever this is. Okay, well, we've done these before. We're gonna keep saving our secrets up a bit so we can build some more of these things in our study for our story of the Z. Okay, we're just going over the shops real fast. We could buy one flare, we could buy one candle. Sure, we're not like desperate for money anymore. Any reason to buy Firkin of Prisoners Honey? I like to have like one. I mean, it's pretty cheap. I like to have one of, you know, if you come upon a quest where that's relevant, it's good to have the one in your inventory. That is Faber Assistant. Wait for quick repairs. That's 100. What is this? Avid suppressor. Fails and suppression. What is suppression? Oh, it makes you quieter. So you're harder to. Wait, on your shirt, your engine never explodes at full power. Wow, that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever had this in my playthroughs. Well, it's 800. It's a little more than I'm willing to spend right now, but maybe we go do some more of the combat stuff. That'll be more a good safety net to have. Okay, we got fuel. We got supplies. We're off. We're gonna head to Mount Palmerston, Shepherd Isles, and the Connaught. And then we're supposed to go to the Far East to find the Empire of Hands. So those are our main goals. And if we end up down here on the way back, we could try to do the delivery quest again. If we still have 200 echoes, I mean. Alternatively, we could just go here and we could just finish this up. I also kind of want to go to Gator's Morn. We did that pirate poet thing. A lot of things we can do. The game is starting to open up. This is how this game kind of works, right? Like, I consider like the first phase of the game, you're just kind of exploring to like fill in your map. So we've done a good amount of that, although we certainly haven't explored the farther reaches as much. And then, I guess maybe the second phase is like getting enough money to get a better ship, get some more upgrades, you know, make it so you're not quite so, how do I say it, like vulnerable to the whims of the sea. Like you have enough money to buy supplies and fuel, you have a better ship, you have like some upgrades like the engine upgrades and the gun upgrades. We skipped some of that because we started our character and sold a bunch of heirlooms from our previous character. It's kind of skipped some of the upgrading phase of the game. Let's go make sure we wait this time for something that waits quality. Should happen any time, right? There it is. Uh-oh, something has changed here. Go up to the house. This is a mirrors challenge. Just a quick look if we have anything we can do with mirrors. She has a better mirrors. This is the first officer. He also has better mirrors. She's pages, he's veils. Doesn't seem relevant for this. This guy also has 3 mirrors as the engineer. Sure. Put those guys on. Low risk challenge. Crunch across the gravel up to the door. The brass of the door knocker is tarnished. The paint is beginning to peel in the salt Z air. No one answers, but the door is unlocked. Words in the darkness. The hall is dark, the parlor too. There are signs of a disturbance here and there. A smashed cup, an overturned piano stool, scratches on the walls. You bend over to pick up a page of paper and hold it in the... Oops, spilled some water. 1 second. Just whipping up some water off the thing here. Turn this upside down. Not exactly what I intended to do while I'm playing my game here. Luckily I had some napkins nearby. Hopefully that... I'm just gonna have to get up for 1 second. Okay, let's just whip this up a bit more. Throw this away. Okay, got most of that wiped up. Always fun to do in the middle of a gaming session. Luckily it's just water. Okay, where were we here? Words in the darkness. Okay, so we were Investigating this. The handwriting may be Phoebe's, an unfinished poem. The absent moon, the gnawing hunger in the heart, the well, the sea. A great many crossings out. There are sounds from downstairs from the kitchen. You push open the door cautiously. Something clings to the ceiling. Something turns yellow eyes to you and hisses. You've explored the silent house of Hunter's Keep. Something somewhere has changed. Okay. Something certainly seems to have changed. A quiet aisle, a grand old house. The silent house. The house seems empty, all is still. Why then do you have the sense that there's not much time remaining? Search the house. Discover whatever you can about what happened here. Mirrors challenge. Loot the house. Musical instruments, curios, jewelry, even Phoebe's paintings will sell. It's robbery, not salvage, but if you don't, someone else may. What were the other options? The thing in the kitchen? The yellow-eyed maid clings to the ceiling like a lizard, fierce and wiry in her ragged uniform. She hisses furiously. When you advance a step, she scurries away to the far end of the room, still on the ceiling, weeping. Catch her with a net. She's dangerous, and yet somehow you suspect you may not have much time. Coax her now. Well, we'll definitely catch her with a net. Hauled down. It's like trying to get a jaguar out of a tree. 3 of your crew are badly bitten, but at last you restrain her, and she lies on the table, glaring and growling. What now? You try to question her. Those poor sailors, she spits. You realize that in all the time you spent at Hunter's Keep, she had never spoken. The poor sailors, I didn't come here for this. Damn them to the well. With a serpentine wriggle, she's free of the net. She returns to the ceiling in one inhuman leap. Regained 5 terror. Okay. Can do that again, although I don't see why we'd want to. Okay, this was a mirrors challenge. Quick look of our officers to get whoever has the most mirrors. Same. Oh, we already did mirror. Okay, so we already have the most mirrors we can grab. We try. I mean, 51%. Failed. Gained 1 terror. Bedrooms, bathrooms, the breakfast room, the servants' stairs, all empty of life. The long case clock at the top of the stairs ticks like a heart. Outside, the sea sighs. I mean, do we just keep trying it? We're gaining 1 terror, but that's not the end of the world. I don't know if we're advancing some time. There's no number associated with this challenge. I'm just going to keep trying until we succeed. Here we go. A distant song. You cock your head and listen. Someone is ringing. A woman's voice. Softer o'er the fountain, lingering the falls, the southern moon. The sound takes you up the winding stairs to the turret at the back of the house. You try the door at the top. Locked. The sound ceases. It was Phoebe's voice. You call out to her. What happened? We wanted their stories, she explains reasonably. We only wanted their stories in the beginning. We get so starved for stories out here. But then Lucy, she breaks down, sobbing. Want us to break down the door, your bosun whispers? While you're considering the answer, one of your crew swears and points. Smoke is leaking from beneath the door. I deserve an ending, Phoebe calls out. When you press your hand to the door, you can feel the heat on your palms. The Hunter's Keep house is aflame. Good lord. We could try to save Phoebe. Phoebe the arsoniste. Fire begins in Phoebe's turret room, but it spreads quickly. Sailors tumble, choking from the door as smoke billows out. The yellow-eyed maid leaps from a window, streaks across the lawn on all fours. Oh, there goes the maid. I could try to save Phoebe. Her mind may be lost to grief and madness, but at least perhaps you can save her flesh from the flames. I guess we could try to do that. We failed. The flames beat you back. You and your crew try again and again to reach her, to no avail. The turret collapses, a sailor goes with it, screaming desperately. The spine of the house breaks with a roar as the roof falls in. Sparks fly up towards the false stars so far above. The death of the house takes hours, but it is total. Only a cindered shell remains. Of Phoebe, you find nothing. We lost a crew, we gained more... We actually lost... Wait, we lost terror? Okay. Well, I was just commenting about how I should remember this is a nice place to swing by on your way back to London, but well, it's not that anymore. I guess it is no longer a nice place to swing by when you're on your way back to London. It has burnt to the ground. It is now a blackened shell. Lost. Phoebe's fate has been lost in the fire. That's unfortunate. I thought we were going to be able to succeed with that mission. So we still have this mission, which is for the mechanic, that we have to bring a clay man here and a mirror catch box, so that's still here. Well, we may as well take a look at the ruins of the Great House, which is now a jumble of charred stones and timbers. So you can lose terror here, can gain an outlandish artifact at least. Peace in the ruins. No one has come to reclaim Hunter's Keep despite its proximity to London. The place has an eerie reputation. It's difficult to see why today. The place is as peaceful as a folly in a park. The air is still. Far across the water, the lights of London glow. Interesting. I'm not sure if this is just something you can do as much as you want, but we don't have any terror, so there's no reason to. Let's keep our fuel efficiency engineer equipped. Okay, and I think I had this guy in for whatever reason. Just trying to keep the stats all around the same. Well, it's just as high as they can be, I guess. I mean, she's technically as higher, but I like raising mirrors more than iron because we have such low mirrors. Okay, well, things have certainly changed in Hunter's Keep. Alright, let's go to Mo Island to Mount Palmerston next. It's weird that you lose terror over all that crazy stuff that just happened. Like the maid that was clinging to the ceiling and then like scurried away. Sounds rather terrible in my estimation, but apparently not in the world of Palmer. Just an everyday occurrence. We killed last time. We actually got quite a bit of stuff last time we blew him up. Try to prevent him from turning. I remember exactly what we got last time, but it was something. The most dangerous thing we fought was those blue moths at one time. Which we ran away because they almost killed us. They were doing like 30 or something damage per hit. Okay, we'll send the boarding party again. Got our fuel supplies and echoes. Seems good. What is this character over here? Is this another ship we can engage with? Putter Pony. It's only got 120 hit points. It's like weaker than the thing we just blew up. I don't think there's any like repercussions from any of the towns in the game for attacking ships while you're out and about. Scattered bones. Bones lay scattered not on the Z-bed. Rib cages yawn open, breastbones shattered. Fragments of skull litter the sand like pearls. Take a closer look. Page challenge. Scavenge the bones. Veils challenge. Or gather the bones. The hearts challenge. Well, I mean, we'll just do the highest chance one first. Don your diving gear. Many of the bones are blackened with cannon fire. Others are scarred as though by swords or machetes. Scraps of tendons still cling, severed or cut to broken fibula. A row of skulls bear round bullet holes between the eye sockets. Gain 15 fragments. Okay. We'll have to try a different option if we get that story again. We scuttled a putter pony. The Connate submarine is taking on water. Oh, the Connate. I'm actually interested in knowing more about the Connate. I'm trying to get into their city. Is hearing their last wishes going to do something interesting? I mean, we may as well find out. Not particularly interesting, 2 intriguing snippets, but oh well. Fog on the glass. Water pours into the putter pony. Its tormented metal groans as it's torn by the Z. A woman's face appears at a porthole. It swiftly fogs with her last breaths. Her lips move. Neither of us should be here. The putter pony buckles entirely. She is lost. Okay. Sorry. Not sorry? I don't know. Like I said, there's not... The combat in this game is more of just like a... side part of the game. The meat of the game is the stories. Alright, we do have something awaits. So let's go ahead and figure out if anything interesting is happening on Demo Island. Get our port report. Always want to do that. Can I have tea with the factor? We can explore the island. We can accept a volunteer. We did lose a crew member, although we're still doing okay on crew. If we had 2 strange catches, we could get a Sooth and Cooper long box. Interesting. I'm assuming I have that written down. Demo. Let's see. 2 string catches for a Sooth and Cooper long box. Okay, well, we'll just do... Tea with a factor. Didn't do anything super exciting. We're just gonna give you supplies, it looks like. Could try exploring the island, I suppose. Usually these explore missions are just like sort of like randomly generated. But we can try it once, let's see what happens. Close crowded thickets of Bulligus and Skirily. The Iron and Misery Company fells them daily, but they grow back almost as fast. The interior of the island is dark and wild. A private encampment. We've had this before, I guess. This is one of the random missions. Well, this is 72%. This is 50%. We had much lower veils the last time we were in this area. We used to have like 20 veils or something. I think we have a number of officers that have increased our veils since then. This character. And I also spent some of our secrets at one point raising our veils up. Oh, and we created the... Well, anyways, let's try this here. Creep close and eat. This one says 50%. We lost it last time. So let's do this one. There was no chance to use our... I thought it was going to involve iron because it's an attack. But there was no chance to use your iron stat in this mission. So let's just do creep close and eavesdrop. The Republic is privy to the gossip of hell. Creep close and you may learn impossible secrets. Success. Fragments of meaning. They're speaking of a raid on the Khan's glory. That's where we want to go. From which they stole pieces of prayer, or of a boast that a rival band made about stealing the Empress's wedding dress, of a sort of spiced meat which fills the heart with love. But they speak too, almost coherently, of privateer layers in the Western Wall, of passwords in use, of brass embassy protocols, and of tuning techniques for drawing lost souls close. A buzzing rises in your brain as you listen, until your eyes become unfocused and your tongue feels thick and heavy. You creep away before anything worse can happen, but this is an odd and useful miscellany of facts. Okay, we just can't... So it's just 78 fragments. It's something, but not anything too exciting. We don't need to risk gathering supplies at the moment. We're doing fine. I don't think we need to buy these particular supplies, but it's good to know that they're here if we ever need to. We're not in dire need of any supplies. So we want to go to Mount Palmerston. We want to buy 7 Zoops. And then we want to head to Separate Isles. But while we're here, we may as well explore these sections that we haven't explored yet. Moody's Light. Pier Wall Point. Assuming we've already got the fragments for exploring this area, but just cruise through it just in case. What is this thing over here? It's a monster of some sort. Oh, it's one of these crabs. We've killed these crabs before. Go ahead and give him a go here. 10 damage, at the end of the world. I was hoping we'd kill him with that last shot. Let's see. I think we will dissect it for knowledge this time. Oh, we got a hunting trophy. Decapodal Mysteries, I believe we've done this before. Yep. Not as profitable as killing the ships, it seems. Killing the animals in this game. I mean, we've got a hunting trophy. I guess I don't know exactly how valuable that is, but killing those ships would gave us supplies and fuel, which is tends to seem like it's more valuable to me, at least. Okay, so maybe we'll hit this 2 sections and hit Mount Palmerston. I really like getting supplies because I feel like supplies just goes down so much faster than other things. What is this over here? Is this an underwater city? I don't think we know what this is over here. Yep, something underwater to the east. Okay, well, let's go underwater. Let's see what we can find here. Still need more underwater port reports to go back to Low Barnett to do those story missions there. Anth. We had some mission that involved Anth. Take a look at our notes after we get there. Something awaits. Yes, we have it. Called the City of Flowers, where the flowers are crystals. Spiral matrices grow in the walls of Anthian caves. The inhabitants of Anth are at least partly crystal, too. They call it going sharp, becoming more perfect, clearer, and colder. Okay, this is our preliminary visit. Study the chambers of Anth. Wander where you can. Gain a preliminary understanding of this place. Those who go sharp. The inhabitants of Anth go sharp. Not all at once, but piece by piece they turn to crystal. They sort themselves by sharpness too. The sharp-handed cluster with others of their kind, ignoring the keen-footed and the brittle-waisted. To progress through Anth is to take on more and more of those attributes, to enter the deeper chambers restricted by sharp style. Choose which chambers you would like to discover, most like to discover. The Anthians speak of a woman named Rosina, dying of a curious disease and sequestered among the sharp-spleened. You've seen the outer chambers of Anth and learned what it is. Okay, we don't have sharpness of spleen, so we can't visit Rosina. We could consider our own condition. Should you go sharp, or have you already taken on sharpness? We could gather the port report. We definitely want to do that. Perhaps the Avonlea will not know of this place. Rumors and extrapolations. Access to Anth is restricted by type of sharpness. Those who are sharp in the ears do not necessarily mingle with the sharp-tongued. As for the inhabitants who are sharp throughout their full bodies, they don't circulate much. There is said to be a cavern, broad and shallow-floored, where the perfectly sharp grow old together. They aren't capable of anyone else's company anymore, at least that's what you're told, and you can hardly go and ask. At any rate, they are more like growing crystals than they are like people, slowly expanding and bonding with the rock. Okay. Well, let's consider our own condition, I suppose. Learning and rumor. Consult the woman with the cubical eyes. Learn how to accept the blessings that Anth offers. Determine what is best for yourself and whose companionship you seek in the bubble caverns. The pursuit of sharpness. The woman gives advice to new Anthians. Her eyes are cubes of salt. She speaks of going sharp as a numbness and as an awakening, as the loss of sensation and the beginning of insight. Some Anthians use other metaphors: clarity, dryness, regularity, and structure. We can cultivate the capacity for sharpness if we're at no more than 6. We can cultivate the capacity for sharpness through chemical means if we have neuter salt and unread logs, which we don't have. We can go sharp in the spleen. Surround yourself your capacity for anger. Join the society of diplomats, saints, and cold-blooded tyrants. Unlocked when sharpness is no more than -1. Go sharpen the liver. Take on a proud indifference to toxins. Fraternize with spies, assassins, professional poisoners, and those who need to survive on strange diets. If we had some other quality which we don't have, we could let our lungs become a chamber crystal. We could flourish in the groin. Undergo an acumination of tongue. Mineralize your skeleton. Let your bone be clear. Cut away the sharpness. This will remove your sharpness and gain you a wound. Your maximum sharpness will remain, so you can pursue different sharpness if need be. Be careful, 3 wounds will kill you. I suppose we should cultivate the capacity first? It's not easy to do, but most who come here find themselves desiring the condition. Well, let's get our hearts up as high as we can get it. Hearts +1. Hearts +1. Hearts +6. She's also heart +6. Veils and mirrors. Okay. We're in here, right? Oh, so we need sharpness of the spleen to visit Rosina, so maybe we'll do that first after we... Let's consider the capacity first, I suppose. Nights of meditation. The environment is a help, but you must also prepare your mind and your will. Going sharp means giving up many sensations. You can now take on a single sharpness. Okay. So let's go sharpen the spleen. We just looked at that was the one that looked like it was most interesting to do first. The Venice Salon. Descend into the nth chamber reserved for those who flourish at the spleen. The stone of the chamber is veined with red. Some members of the Venice Salon wear clothes that reveal the midriff, so that one can see the telltale points of the crystal form under their skin. It is a party game here to take turns reading aloud offensive letters to the London newspapers and insulting missives from home, and to compete at not caring in the least. How many places have you gone sharp? Your spleen is now a hexagonal crystal. Okay. So now we can visit Rosina in her chambers. She's both a healer and patient, convalescing in an ice bath among the sharp-spleened. The ancients speak of her often. Ice crystals. The air gets chillier as you approach, and there are patches of ice on the floor, on the walls. Okay. Rosina's chambers. The cavern is crowded. In the center is a bathtub full of ice, in which sits a woman in an obvious state of illness. Several Anthians attend her, one with deft, clear fingers. Then there are a number of other people attending, who mostly talk among themselves, but sometimes turn to watch Rosina. Meet Rosina. She has seen you come in. Baked from within. Rosina is dying of amnescience, the disease of the elder continent. Any passion speeds the disease. She must therefore lie very still in an ice bath and think of things that do not interest her. Going sharp in the spleen protects her against the passion of anger, but other passions are still a danger. For a long time she looked for a cure for the disease. Tradition ascribes healing features to certain poems, ointments, and postures of the body, but these only delay the gradual combustion. Rosina's health quality is 10, almost stable. How close to death by omniscience? Okay. So we could learn more about her, or we could leave. I may as well learn more about her, I suppose. Speak to her of her choices and what she requires. She tells you her story. For a long time, she looked for cures of the body. I was certain the inhabitants of the Elder Continent would be able to correct what is wrong, she says. But if they know how, they refuse to say. Now, I merely keep back the disease as long as I can and seek cures of the sentiment instead. If I keep very calm, my symptoms subside. If you find anything in your travels, works of philosophy or guidance that might help me compose myself, please bring them to me. Sure. Presented Girani counterpoint. Oh, we saw something around this. Oh, we saw something else that wanted some songs. We don't know how to get them yet. Sing the Girani counterpoint. We have to be sharp in the lungs for that. Perform a Girani counterpoint. Okay, we don't have any Girani hymns, so we can't do any of these. Tell a story. Okay, we were working on this. We have 2 of the low Barnett storyteller quality, but we haven't got to 7 yet. Offer her a needle of fortis. You have to have that. We don't have that. Perform a dry lecture. We would need visage parts 3. You have 7, so we do have that, but we don't have an acumination of the tongue. We could try to get that before we leave. You have romantic literature. which we don't have. If you had an Anthean romance, which we don't have. We could find out what all the onlookers are for. They aren't assisting in any medical proceedings. Carrion birds. You put your question. Rosina glances over at the cluster of men and women. Her expression is blank. The emotion that ought to be there has been controlled or wiped away. There are certain idiotic sects, she says. People who want to suffer what I have. They follow me around, hoping to be infected by my conflagration. Okay. Well, we can see if we can get the accumulation of the tongue. Let's see if we are able to do that. We'd first have to get another capacity, I suppose. Barbing in the lungs, sharpen the liver, groin, the tongue. You cannot select this. You may need to, oh, if you cannot select this, you may need to raise your capacity for sharpness. You need nth number of sharpness 2. You have 1. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's 54% chance. We'll see what happens if we fail this. And we succeeded. We can now take on another sharpness. Okay. So let's get the one for the tongue. It's still locked. You need nth number of sharpness 2, nth number of sharpness no more than 1. You have 1. Huh? If you cannot select this, you may need to raise your capacity for sharpness. Okay. I guess we can try again. It's a tough challenge now. Is it saying I need to do these things? No, it says capacity for sharpness. You have 2. You need anthem. Oh, you need number of sharpness 2. No, a number no more than 1. You have 1. You need nth number of sharpness 2, nth number of sharpness is no more than 1. I feel like it's telling us that we need to take on another sharpness, number of sharpnesses. So I feel like we have to take on one of these other sharpnesses. But then once we do that, we're going to have to raise the capacity again before we can get the tongue one. Okay, well, let's see what happens if we can even raise it again. We succeeded. So we have 3 capacity for sharpness. So we have to take on a different one. Do we want... There was something that had to do with lungs. We may as well do that one, I suppose. Let your lungs become a chamber of crystal. Breathe less often and more purely. Actually, before we do that, let's just take one more quick look back at Rosina and her chambers. Yes, the lungs one involves singing the song. The spleen one involves also singing a song. So it's either sing the Drowny counterpoint. You have to unlock the Drowny song and counterpoint, or you have to perform the Drowny hymn. Guarda da Hut. Guarda da Hut. When we get to this one, we're going to need no particular sharpness. We haven't been to a ghoul. But if we had, we would need the spleen one. So the spleen one can do both of these, whereas the lungs one can only do this. So maybe we'll do the spleen one. The spleen one seems more useful because it offers both these 2 options. But the lungs is only this one. Okay, well, let's get the spleen, sharpness of the spleen, I suppose. Wait, don't we already have sharpness of the spleen? Wait, isn't that the one we have? You have 1. Okay, never mind. We already have sharpness of the spleen. Okay, well, let's just get the barbing of the lungs, I suppose. I haven't seen anything that involves the liver. Gain the first chamber of Vanth. We haven't seen anything that involves the groin either. The Salon of Incense. The chamber is lined with black crystal. Braziers are lit and a low haze hangs in the air, troubling none of its inhabitants. Of the inhabitants. Respiration slows. Your exhalations are cold and dry. Are your lungs a geode, hollow and sparkling? Oh, there's more options here now. Follow a polythreme exile. Interesting. Mingle with the hurriers, getters, and thrusters. Unlocked when you have crew. They might give you something, or they might lure your crew away. I guess we can see what this is. Follow a polythreme exile. A hulking clay figure is visible through the smoke. It moves away through the opposite door. The speed of unhappiness. You follow. The clay man is moving fast down several corridors towards the section of ants reserved for the bone sharp. A sight that would not at all be extraordinary in London, but most of the inhabitants of Anth seem complacent, possibly indolent. Hardly anyone is ever in a hurry. The man ducks into the bone barrow. A person would be unwise to follow unless they had considerable confidence in their own skeleton. Encountered a polythreme exile who's sharp in lung and bone. Okay. We wanted to get this one. Undergo an acumination of the tongue. Give up soft speech and slow words. Come to know poets, court jesters, liars, and artists in cipher. Tongue Point Pinnacle. The sharp tongues gather on a point of rock. There is little room for newcomers. The wit is crisp and dry. The diction is precise. Nothing is slurred and nothing said in error. Your tongue is transparent and its edges are perfectly squared. Is your tongue a supple diamond? Does your speech glitter and stab? I suppose it does. I suppose that it does. Okay, so now we can do this. Provide a dry lecture on the social stratification of visage. Obscure pedantry might be just the thing for Rosina. You have the tongue to tell it. Curative tedium. You explain the masks. You establish the etiquette associated with each one. You rely upon the most technical of anthropological vocabulary. You allow yourself some reflections upon theories of equivalence as they pertain to performative duties in the highly disemulative societies. Rosina's nurse touches your elbow. First sound sleep she's had in weeks, she whispers, with a nod at the resting patient. It'll do wonders for her, especially if she can avoid dreaming. You've gained 7x of her health, now 17, nearly recovered. Oh, that sounds like a good thing. We just gotta find some songs for her. Or potentially do some stories, which we're working on this anyway. We can do this again if we have something awaits, potentially. No more than 19, though. We could just sail up to Mount Palmerston and come back again. And do this again, maybe. We don't have any literature. Read an Anthony romance. Okay. It seems like it'd be worth coming back here to see what that entails. Should we mingle with the hurriers, couriers, getters, and thrusters? I guess we should at least find out what it does. You were fortunate. You gained 3 fuel. Help yourself. There's Z Coke and to spare. Are you planning to leave Anth? Are you sure? Most people don't, but you may have the fuel if you need it. The only thing is, if you do go fully sharp, they'll take it back to offer it to someone else that can use it. They didn't spend all that time in the mine pushing cars heavier than a cow just to have it go to waste. So mind you, use it. Okay, we can always use more fuel. Looks like you can do this over and over again, but it's 50% chance. Presumably you're going to lose a crew member. Yeah, they might lure a crew away if you fail. We probably need more hearts to successfully get more sharpness, although you can always remove your sharpness. Okay, so this is if you want to change your sharpnesses, but I don't think we want to wound. Here's the thing about your bone, like the skeleton. That's what was talking about with the guy, the clay man who went somewhere. Okay, well she's sleeping now, or I guess that's just was a something always quality. Okay, well I think we did most of the stuff here. Is there any shops here? There is. Good prices too. Pretty good prices. I feel like we needed a couple ambiguous eoliths or something as well. Let's take a look at our notes here. Eolith. And we need 2 of them for Rosegate. Okay, we can buy a couple of these. We got plenty of money now. Can always use more supplies. Shintalak, but we would need to trade meteor salt. Okay, well, that was an interesting exchange of goods and stories. Let's go up to Mount Palmerston, pick up the Zoop that we needed for somebody, and then we'll come back here and do that thing again that we just did. Something way over there, but we're not going to go way over there. Although we do need to wait for the something awaits quality. Before we go here to Mount Palmerston. Any of those abysses nearby? Doesn't seem like there are. Alright. So we'll just make sure we get our something awaits here. There it is. We didn't do this last time. Go up to the crater. Unlocked when the Wispel Devilis is no more than 0. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but the road to the Brimstone Convention is paved with cinders. Up the road. Do they admit visitors to the Brimstone Convention? Probably not, but you never know. They might sell you tickets. Above the bay. Look down and see Port Palmerston like a toy and the ruins like gravel. You've come far, but the volcano's cone still rears above you. Rest a little before you go to the last half mile. You found a little cottage by the gate to Brimstone Convention. The Wistful Devilis is the guardian of the Brimstone Convention, apparently. The Wistful Devilis. The road to the crater ends at a brass gate in the crater wall. Beside it stands an oddly charming little cottage. It's thrown together from pumice and basalt, but it features honeysuckle. An equally charming Devilis in a tea gown leans against the cottage wall, twirling a parasol and fanning herself. I am the guardian of this place, she remarks languidly. You may not pass, but can I offer you a cup of Amaryllia tea? Tea with a Devilis. Amaryllia? Armillaria. This is not one of the poisonous ones, is it? You're pretty sure it's not. Well, we came all the way up here. We may as well have tea with her. Terror in a tea gown. Question mark? No doubt she'd be much less pleasant if you tried to break down that gate, but just now she's a courteous and soft-voiced woman in a tea gown. The tea is hot and nutty and rather pleasant. She asks about your voyages. She is desperate for news of London, of its mists, its nights, its sick, its poor, its fires. She tactfully turns aside the questions about the convention, but she shares some secrets underneath. Come and see me again, she says, next time you're here. She shrugs gracefully. Bring me a present if you like. You've taken tea with the Devilis. Okay. Next time we have to bring her a present, apparently. Okay, so what are we doing here? Let's get the port report. Always want to do that. Take note of a veiled woman. A middle-aged woman in a veiled hat is staring at you, waiting for you to notice and listen to her. Okay. The Imperious Sister's Tale. She begins commandingly, as though you had met at a salon in London, as though there were no burning mountain at her back, and as though you were socially just a little her inferior. Thank goodness, someone who might help me, she says. I have been searching everywhere. My brother is troubled, you see, troubled by some past difficulties. I came to Mount Palmerston because I thought possibly they had his soul. She drops her voice to a whisper on the last words. But it isn't here. And now there's something else I must try, and you have a submarine. Commissioned to retrieve a regret. Stopped to listen to the Imperious Sister. She has asked you to investigate the regrets of her brother. The woman is no longer exactly youthful, but she speaks passionately from under her veil. Perhaps she has studied heroines on the stage. I need help to be reconciled with my dear brother. Listen to what she wants. She is very urgent to speak with you. She has a brother who is dear to her, a sensitive soul, very reserved. He used to work for the Admiralty. Something happened to distress him there. When I asked him about it, he said that I had enough to worry about with my own concerns. My husband was ill at the time. But I could help him, if he would only permit me to know his troubles. For you, she puts a hand on her heart, bearing another's burdens is what makes us truly good. She tells you that you'll need to go to Igel, the city of regrets, find her brother's regret, and return it to her. She will pay, gladly. Okay, I'll make a note of that. Igel. Retrieve a brother's regret and return it to Mount Palmerston. I don't know if we necessarily need to make a note of that since we are probably going to want to go to a new place anyway, but we could dig among the ruins if we have supplies. We have more to go. We came here to buy Zoop. We came here to buy 7 Zoop. Do we need Devil Bone Dice? We turned some Devil Bone Dice into something useful at one point, so maybe we'll get some more of those. Supplies for 22. That's a pretty good price for supplies as well. Fuel's cheap here as well. This is a good place to stock up. Do I have that noted? Palmerston? Palmerston. Palmerston. Yeah, fuel 9, supplies 22. Yeah, that's a good place to stock up for sure. Don't want to spend all of our money. We want to be cognizant of our hold space, although we have plenty of that in this ship. Okay, we'll buy some more supplies. Like I said, this is probably the best place we've seen, other than London itself, to buy supplies. I don't think we have any missions for a particular number of Devil Bone Dice. I just want to have one with me just in case there's ever a use for it. Devil Bone. Let's see. 12 Devil Bone Dice in the Iron Republic. We haven't had that option presented with this character, so I don't know what it takes to unlock it. Okay, well, I want to head back to Anth, talk to that lady again, and then we'll head over to the Shepherd Isles. Just do a quick little detour out here to the water, maybe to the area we haven't explored. What's this guy? How much hit points does he have? Can't tell. Suffered 0 damage, but our firing solutions were set back. Well, 0 damage is not very scary. We should be right in front. He's got a lot of hit points. Good thing most of his shots did 0 damage, otherwise it would have been much more painful than it was. Something awaits. We could go back to Mount Palmerston. I mean, we may as well. We've destroyed the Faustic Corsair. Investigate the hold. Tap the bung of the barrel. Gain some Firkin prisoners' honey. This is what they call prisoner's honey, wrung by the lamplighter bees from the exile's rose. I wonder who made up all these names, remarks able seaman Carget. Someone who read too many books, I'm thinking. Indeed. I'm thinking the same thing. Oh hey, there's one of these abysses. We'll go underwater there next. But since we have something away, so we may as well just dock here again and see if that tea lady has anything useful to do. A hesitant request. Do you happen to have a case of souls for me? Consider your souls. I don't know if I want to do that. Or you could just lend me yours. I'm not going to eat them. We don't eat souls. I'm not clear what the story got around. I just needed to... Okay, so we can buy these in London. I remember just at the beginning of this session. We can make a note of that. Mount Palmerston, ring 1x, crate of And souls. Okay, well, we can come back and do that. We're not going to offer her our soul, I believe. She gave us some supplies anyway. I understand, it's a little indelicate, but I've had so few human friends. I'm sorry if I'm tactless sometimes. Sit with me for a while, let's just talk. Oh, I have this hamper of honey fungus that your cook might find use for. Okay, well. Let's go check out what's in Duggan's Mall over here. Assuming this is something underwater. Last time we had like this abyss thing pop up. Yeah, here we go. Dive into the abyss. Good luck. I guess we have to go deeper to figure out. What happens if you fail this, I wonder? Well, we succeeded, so we don't know yet. Perform the ritual of greeting. Oh, okay. So we can actually do this one. It says performing the rituals in the correct order. The church's niches all possess the same decoration. Statues of men and women standing beneath a door. Bells in their hands. Follow their example. Your submarine's lights illuminate bas-reliefs carved into the wall of the chasm. They depict men and women rowing from a sunless city, then far at sea scuppering their ships. Symbols etched into the walls flicker with fire. Okay, we can do this, so let's do it, I suppose. You don your diving gear. You swim into the nave. Your bubbles float upward towards the tiled floor. Though the mosaic is entirely black, there's form in its formlessness. At the end of the aisle is an archway. Inside, a kelp rope floats upward from a deep chasm. When it drifts within reach, you snatch it and pull. A great weight moves at the other end. You pull it again. It rings out once, twice, thrice. The waters stir. A strong current throws you into the nave and carries you back out of the mouth of the church. You have made yourself known. So we swam into a church underwater. We grabbed a kelp rope and it pulled us. It rang, and it pulled it, it rang. Then a strong current throws you into the nave, carries you back out to the mouth. Okay. So this was the first one, I think. Oops. Whatever this one is called, we'll look at it when we get out of here. It's like Duggan's Mall or something. Yeah, Duggan's Mall. Okay, well. Duggan's Mall. I'm thinking it's tinkling in my memories that was one of the ways to end the game. And I think it might be one that we've already that my legacy has already done. Maybe it's one of these. Not sure. These are all our port reports. Oh, these aren't port reports. It's just to tell you that you found these places. I see. Well, not exactly sure what the story around that church and the songs is exactly, or prayers, I suppose it was. Make sure we get the something awaits quality here, and we'll see if we can talk about Visage again with this lady, Rosina. Yeah, let's go and visit Rosina. Talk to her about Visage again. We already did this, but now gained her 7 more of her health. Curative tedium, as it were. Witness her recovery. She's been looking better and better. Okay, that's good. If you were hoping for praise, gratitude, and perhaps some thankful tears, they are not forthcoming. Bring my logbook, Rosina tells her nurses. I need to review the records. She looks in your direction. Would you be able to replicate the treatment you gave me? Offer your services. This will be rewarding if you succeed. Admit that you wouldn't. It's really a chance that it worked so well. If she would benefit from being taught the means of treatment, you would be more than happy. Okay. Failed. Gained 5 terror. Interruptions. You can never give enough information to satisfy her. Where exactly did you get the words you use? Can you repeat them exactly? What about intonation and duration? No? What use are you then? Don't you understand that there are other sufferers from the same disease? Don't you have any pity for them? Anyway, did it go down to 10? Turn to ants. Okay, I don't know if that's something we can ever try to do again. Seek healing from her. If you've been wounded, she's an expert in these matters. If you're wounded, okay. Interesting. I haven't noted that. That's actually an interesting thing that you can do. Wound. I don't see anything in here about wounding. Should make a note of that. Rosina can cure 1x wound for 2 supplies, I believe it was. Yeah, 2 supplies. That's pretty useful if you ever get wounded. If you have 3 wounds, you die. Well, let's speak to her about her history. How did she come to take omniscience? I ran the omniscience hospital at Adams Way. I was scrupulous. I was never present when a patient burst into flame. When I felt too much pity, I would reassign staff, but I was less cautious outside the hospital. She goes to her stock of instruments and swabs each in ice water. I received news that an enemy of mine was shamed and embarrassed. I was so carried away with angry pleasure, I actually think I was talking to myself. Of course, in that mood, I was far too vulnerable to take the disease, not to take the disease. When an omniscient beggar combusted in the street, the Nithian sent him to infect me. What news gave her such angry pleasure? She is being elusive about the detail. A savage smile. The presbyterate do not share their immortality, she says, and she holds a blade in the flame, but one of them made an exception for his daughter and broke all the laws of his kind to send her the gift, because he hoped it would reconcile the rift between them. Her face is blank where anger would be, if her spleen were not a prism. Miriam, the daughter, she gave the gift away to a Kaganian general to spite her father and punish the presbyterate. The last person they would have wanted to immortalize. I found that outcome satisfying. You've gained a secret, the root of all good. Okay. You can cut away your sharpness for your wound, and then she can heal your wound. Okay, interesting. So if you want to change your sharp qualities, like I have the spleen and the tongue or whatever, you could take the skeleton and the skin or something instead. Maybe we'll do that at some point. We've already used our something away, so there's no real need to force anything at this point. Okay, so let's head over to the Shepherd Isles now. We have something to do here. Off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what it was. Let's do one more sonar pulse, and then we'll go up for it. We'll go up to explore the area up here we haven't explored yet. Okay, sonar didn't find anything. Go ahead and rise up. There was something down to the south of us here, but oh well. Send out our Z-Bat. Explore these areas we haven't been to before. What's this down here? Anything we haven't found? Oh, that's the Pawnee Reefs. We've already explored that. Here the wilder airs mingle with the airs of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? We've certainly been to Demo's Gate. Or we've been to Demo Island, at least. Shepherd's Wash, the salty hinterland of London, home to hermits, nuns, and shadowy business. Storm is watching, as the sailors say. The dock is on the far side. Let's see if we can just get this section defogged, and then I guess we'll have to swing around. Let's go north. Another boat. Got plenty of hull strength, we can probably fight him. It wasn't really an option because he wanted to fight us. Okay, it's just a pirate pinnace. No big deal. Scuttle her. Get a crate. Ooh, 5 supplies. Wow, that's probably the best loot we've ever gotten for one of these little dudes. We got 21 supplies. We're well stocked, as it were. We have something awaits. A picnic. Oh yes, this is what we wanted to do here. We're on a tour with the tomb colonists. Something of the peace of old Kent still clings to this place. I always hated Kent, but this is the tour. A picnic at the Stones. No, they haven't brought their own picnic materials. That's your job, isn't it? Well, we are the tour guide. Aren't you in charge? They certainly seem to think so. Or we could do a visit to the 3 graves. Don't really want to give them 2 supplies. I mean, we can't afford it, but may as well see what this is first. An island to the northwest has what might be graves, or treasure troves, or follies created by the villagers to confuse you. Anyway, it'll do as a tourist destination. Chattering excitedly. We saw a drowning, Captain. That's good luck. Well, in Venderbite, we say it's good luck. There's different kinds of dead, eh? Different kinds of dead. What a lovely trip. Where are we going now? To Calm's Glory. Well, it just so happens that we want to go to Calm's Glory. Fortunate for us. Let's just make a note of the tomb tour. And we are going to Khan's Glory. Well, I don't know if we're going to Khan's Glory or the other Khan's place, but in any case, we were going to the Khan's area. We still have something awaits. We could do some of these tales. We could give the bearded watchman what he needs. 7 supplies, good lord. 2 casks of mushroom wine. We'll get the port reward for sure. There's also this. Trade a hunting trophy for a Sooth and Cooper long box. Let's see if my notes talk about the rest of the Z. We can only do one of these right now because it takes something away. The rest of the Z will give you a strategic information. That's relatively valuable. That's what we have to do for the Admiralty quests. And the retired monster hunter will be a Sooth and Cooper long box. Well, we don't have a Sooth and Cooper long box, so we may as well get one in case we ever... Strategic information is valuable, but I'd like to have one of each of the different things. It says, deliver to Depot Station 3. Well, we actually are near Station 3, although... I suppose we could do that. The tomb. He takes your trophy and nods. Wrestled one of these devils once. I'll show you the scar, but decency forbids. He leads you to a low cliff. Leaning over, you see a grassy stair cut into the rock. It leads to a dripping cave. Against one wall, coffins are arranged in a careful line. Some la-dee-da London family bring their dead here. Sail up on a black ship, they do. Help yourself to the oldest one. They won't notice. Okay. So we have a Sooth and Cooper long box now. We're near Station 3. I guess we could go there. Well, let's go to the Khan's Glory. Well, we want to go east eventually. So maybe we'll go to Station 3 first, and then Khan's Heart, Glory, and then to the east. There's also the Wolf's Rift right here. I guess we should go underwater and check that out. Although our hearts aren't very high, we've been getting pretty lucky on those underwater things. I guess we're here. We may as well see what the where it fits in the ritual that we've been uncovering. Dive into the abyss. Try to go dive deeper. Succeeded again. I mean, we've been getting pretty lucky on that. Okay, we can actually perform this ritual of Horus. Okay. So we can make a note of that. Fires 1. We'll update the name when we get out of here. I'm not sure the name of the place that we're in. Well, I guess we'll do this. This is the same type of pale fire bubbles from fissures in the walls, reflected by the willful currents into hypnotic cascades of light that shiver across the interior of your vessel. St. Brendan's fire, a sailor gasps, the navigator's blessing. Perform the ritual of Hars. The church's tympanum depicts pilgrims passing through open doors and into fire. Their expressions are, ambiguous. Are they suffering or exulting? You don your diving gear. Kilns line the floor above you, all bricked up, but at the end of the nave, violent fire playfully licks out of a kiln. The firing chamber is just large enough to accommodate you. It is blistering hot. Nevertheless, you commend yourself to the fires. Your suit preserves your flesh from burning, but the flames search for a way in. They press against your helmet's glass, blinding you. They seep through, searing you. They dance across your face and spread. As the last part of you is engulfed, the flame dies. The kiln goes dark. You swim to your submarine. The Z is not as cold as it once was. Are you still what you were? You have purified yourself. Okay. We've certainly done something. This was Wolf's Rift. Wolf's Rift. Okay, we're going to stop at Station 3 and then go visit the Khanate. That might be the end of this session. It's already been a decent amount of content here. We're probably not going to finish this whole run in one session because we still have to go east to find the Empire of Hands somewhere before we head back to London. I'm actually curious to see if it defogs the map while you're underwater. Okay, it does. Interesting. Well, we learned something new. But let's go ahead and get up anyway, because we might want to find fragments along this area. No fragments. Something awaits. Perfect timing. Well, not perfect timing, but close. We'll visit Station 3. We'll do something with this Sooth and Cooper long box that we just got. Deliver a long box. Search for visitors. Well, let's deliver the long box. The only way past the walls is an unimposing but sturdy-looking triple-locked silvery gate of silvery metal. A sign beside it reads "Deliveries." The gate stands open. There are no stevedores, however, and no wagons waiting to help you with the heavy cargo. There is only a sign which reads "Deliveries," and a painted hand which points insolently up a rock-cut staircase. Make a delivery. There is cargo in the hold marked for this destination, a long, low, heavy box. It'll be fun getting up the stairs, no doubt. Up a twisting staircase. There's a great deal of grumbling from the crew. The stairs are sharp-edged and wet. The box is heavy, and its contents inclined to shift. After a few slips and a bad bruise to the shin, you resort to placing crew members along the stairs and handing the box along. There is a warehouse at the top of the stairs, but it is not apparently your destination. Another sign points along the narrow path towards the building with the spire. "Deliveries," it says, more aggressively this time. Someone in the spired building is singing. The song sets your teeth on edge. I've been involved in a certain trade. You have a long, heavy box, a winding path ahead that runs perhaps a quarter-mile through the mist, a crew that is beginning to mutter about having to do landlubber work. There's a warehouse just to your right, but the sign says deliveries are to be taken onward. Says it rather emphatically, as a matter of fact. Could break into the warehouse and leave the box there. Okay, the sign says deliveries, but doesn't mean that the deliveries are obliged to comply. And carry the box on to the building with the spire. Going the extra distance might mean you can charge more for your efforts. Or we could send away to the building for extra hands. Well, we can do this, I suppose. A grudging reward. The path is slippery and lined with mushrooms. You and the crew have to stop 7 or 8 times to set down the boxes and blow on your hands. The closer you get, the less the building with the spire looks like a church. The walls are soot blackened and made of brick. There are no windows, only narrow vents up near the roof. From these a low singing can be heard, a song so cheerful that your crew look at one another and frown. It is a song of someone keeping the monsters at bay. At last you are close enough to bang on the door. An austere acolyte answers it. She is dressed in black from head to foot. Her gloves are thick leather and her goggles are double glass. Leave the boxes at the door, she says to you, and then she turns back towards the building, singing her song. Something about candied kittens and flaming violets and the coming of spring. Judging by the rhyme, she's inventing the words as she goes along. You stop her and explain that you expect your extra work to be rewarded. She makes a grudging gesture but complies. 100 fragments and 5 of the acolyte's favor. Your acquaintance with the austere acolyte. Okay. We just did this. Oh, wait, no, this is more. Okay, so she directs the arrangement of the long box in the room under the steeple. There are many other boxes there already, stacked in rows, 3 or 4 times as many as you have brought. In another corner of the room is a pile of wood from previous boxes that have already emptied and dismantled. Singing to herself about a mountain upholstered in velvet, she takes a crowbar to the box. The corpse inside is permanently dead, in a way that the dead of London often are not. Not a drowning, not a tomb colonist, but not coming back either. It looks pale and ordinary except for the slight distension of the skin over the breastbone. Gently the acolyte presses there and nods, singing about tulips embroidered with yellow floss. She lifts the body onto a marble slab. Without pause in her lyric, she prepares a scalpel. Your presence does not seem to bother her. Watch, you've never heard of this practice before. Don't watch, you can wait by the door. Or watch with medical interest. Yeah, we can watch with medical interest. Excellent precision. The austere acolyte makes an incision over the distended place on the body, laying bare a heart-sized shape of silver metal. It has grown there, apparently, over many years, because the ribs of the corpse have curved around it without cracking. She has to break 2 of the ribs now to take out the ball. Behind it, the heart is intact but bloodless, its color a milky gray. She notices you watching and halts her song just long enough to say, "They do not always grow in the same place, but over the heart is the most common." With a giant nutcracker, she cracks a sphere, and another sphere inside that, and another. Finally, in the center, she comes to something heavy, small, and black. She lifts it out with tongs and looks at it through her goggles. The song falters, but she manages to keep humming, though the words are lost. She puts the black and heavy thing into a jar marked with the word of the correspondence. She closes the jar and seals it with red wax. Finally, when the corpse is removed again and the marble slab wiped clean, she comes to pay you. Though she doesn't offer any further comment, she seems pleased by your careful attention during the autopsy and almost smiles when she makes her payment. "A pleasure," she says. "Return another day. I may have something else for you." Gained a secret. We've now trading in quality is now 3. We've earned her acolyte's favor up to 10 and lost our Sooth and Cooper longbox. Alright, we have some more options here now. Question for the acolyte. Perhaps if she has come to like you well enough, she'll choose to answer some questions about this place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Ask where the corpses come from. If they're to be involved in the trade, wouldn't it be better if you knew? A matter of indifference. Here and there, she says, it's not that she's trying to be coy. You just don't think she cares much about the answer. Most are from the surface, one way or the other. You think that is all she's going to say on the matter, but after a long time she adds, it's an old trade. They've been coming this way for generations, to judge by the piles out back. The masters made the arrangement. Okay, so that consumed as some things await. Okay, interesting. So you can only learn about the one at a time. If we had We could exchange a long box for a heart metal ingot, but what use is heart metal to you? I guess that's what she extracted from the corpse, the heart metal ingot. Perhaps you imagine the whisper at shoulder. What use indeed is a heart? Oh, we don't have any more. Guess we'll return later. Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll have to bring back more Sooth and Cooper lockboxes. There's definitely more to do here. Alright, we're going to the Khanate. Guess we'll hit Khan's Heart first, and then Khan's Glory. And then we'll probably end the session there for today. It's been a very good session. We have a good amount of spending cash. We've completed a number of missions. We took the Tomb Colonists to their first step of their tour. We bought the Zoop that we needed to turn in London to the character who was interested in that, the Venturer. Picked up a few random other things, like picked up some Double One dice and some Dark Drop coffee. Actually, we bought these for the Khanate, which is where we're heading, actually. Yes, right. And then we've done a number of other things along the way as well. So yeah, overall, pretty good session. We're well stocked on supplies and decently stocked on fuel, although we could use some more at some point. So we're going to go through Ogdai's Bridge, I believe, into the Copper Quarter. This is the domain of the new Khanate, whose ancestors came here long before London fell. Hopefully we'll get something awaits right around the time we get to here. If not, we'll hang out for a minute. There it is. Okay, so this is what the thing we were doing for Rack. We can lure the adventurer to Rack. A London captain smokes a Caganian pipe as she admires the reflection of the street lamps in the water. Spin her a story of lights. There's also something here with the hideaway. There's someone in the shadows trying to draw your attention. We already know that you can't do this here. You have to go to the Khan's Glory first, I believe. This prices are mischievous for getting rid of terror, for hiring a crew, purchasing fuel, supplies, pay a storyteller. They sing of the nation's history. Got out of the port report. We failed this last time. Increased our suspicion. We do not have a spy network stuffed. Okay, let's just do the first two first. We'll lure the adventurer to Rack. You settle beside her and comment on the water. It's beautiful how the city ripples, isn't it? It reminds you of a port you once came across, you say. A place where they light their way with colored fire and dine on fish-fed flowers. She need only find the red and white lights beneath the waves. The captain huffs. Blue smoke streams through her nose. She dumps her ash into the water and sets off for the dock without another word. She'll be sailing over Rack in no time. Sorry. I mean... Okay, panicked wave. There's someone in the shadows trying to draw your attention with equal parts discretion and desperation. Well-intended questions. The impolite investigator shakes your hand with extreme vigor. Good day, citizen. When do we leave port? Can your ship outrun the Khan's best? Not that you'll have to, but it'd be comforting to know that you could. Take his hint. He needs to escape and you can get him away. Ignore his hint. His incessant questions are irritating. You don't want him aboard. Well, we'll take him aboard, I suppose. I'll welcome myself aboard. Where's my bunk? He heads up the plank before you. He continues talking, expecting you to keep up. The Caganians didn't seem to like me asking questions. Not many people do. It's made me unpopular in most ports. But there's still one I haven't tried. Could you take me to Hideaway? It's beneath the waves, on the back of a gigantic beast. You cannot miss it. We've never been to Hideaway. I'm not going to make a note of that because it's a new area anyway, so we're likely to explore any new area we find. This just tells us we have to go to the Khan's Glory, right? Yeah, okay. So we actually didn't use something awaits. We could wander the Khan's Heart, although we don't want to gain more suspicion if we don't have to. We could try to get the port report. Veils. Should have this guy in. Oh, this guy gives Veils. Veils 3. Veils 6. Veils 8. What does that get our chance up to here? 68%. Sure. Failed. We always fail this one. Can we keep trying it, or is it a one-time thing? We're just gaining suspicion. Surely we can get it once. No? Is it going down? I think it is. I think the chances are going down. Well, we've committed to it at this point. We are now 9 suspicion, but we finally got the port report. Rivalry between the Leopard and Eagle clans, the concerns about Chelenite raids, some appalling gossip about the traitor Empress back in London. Perhaps you shouldn't write that last one down and move on quickly. The fellow in the corner has an informer's look. Well, that was inexpensive in terms of suspicion. I'm not really tempted to... I guess it says we can explore it in safety. A quiet street. A narrow street opens on your left. The filament bulbs here are green tinted and the street is unusually dim, like the space between a thick forest canopy. 10 steps in and the noise of the crowds on the canal side is oddly hushed. A candle-lit shop. A quiet street watched with serpent green light from bulbs overhead. The houses here are dark, empty seeming. Paint peels and bats chitter. A single shop, however, is open. Its windows glow with candlelight. The shopkeeper is a tall woman with pale eyes, not a local, but not a Londoner either. She blows the dust off a baize box and smiles toothily at you. You can purchase a pot of violent ink. You can purchase a watchful curio. There was something we wanted to do with a watchful curio. Strange catch. Oh, another Sooth and Cooper long box. Is this like a one-time thing, or can we purchase all of these? We haven't heard of any use for a brass blacked mirror. I'm guessing we're only going to get to buy one. Well, strange catch we've gotten relatively frequently. That doesn't seem super valuable. Drowning pearl we haven't seen a need for. What about the watch? There was something that wanted a watchful curio. I thought. Might have just been like the market back in town though. Wither, we did go up there. This was for gaining Storm's attention. I think that's when you are cursed or something it talked about. You can get curios by trading in... Oh, you can trade 1 hunting trophy for 4 curios in Khan's Shadow, wherever that is. We actually haven't found Khan's Shadow. But it implies that the watchful curio isn't that exciting. Okay. Pot of violent ink. I don't think we had any need for a violent ink that I can remember. Nope, nothing in my notes about that. We do know that we can use these, so maybe we'll just buy one of these. Sooth and Cooper long box. Shopkeeper opens a trap door. A pale and surly youth comes up, blinking, and hastily dons a pair of dark glasses. He helps you carry away the long box down to the dock. Mute all the way. Okay, yeah, so you can only buy one of them. Okay. Well, we definitely have a use for that, or at least we know where we can use those now. Let's go up to Khan's Glory, and that'll probably be the end of this session. We'll go a bit along this way in case there's anything over here we haven't explored yet. Don't think we're going to be able to defog the map from inside the city here, but we did discover the Iron Quarter at the very least. So there's another place called Khan's Shadow. At least that's what it sounded like from the thing we just looked at. Must be over here somewhere, maybe. Or it could just be near, like, somewhere else. I mean, who knows? Taimen. I think Taimen's like their name for the leader. Their leader, I believe, is called the Taimen. Don't have something awaits yet. We gotta hang out for just a minute here. Trying to see if we can discover any fragments while we wait, but we are going to need to pick up some more fuel at some point. The tomb colonists. All right, they wanted to go here as well. That's right. One knows one should be patriotic, but the glory is so much prettier than London, although one finds one tiring of all the guns pointed at one. One should find a better pronoun. Let them tour the palaces. We don't have any influence with the leopards, so they may be mistaken for a marauding ghost, shot, burned, or exercised. Well, they should have stayed home if they wanted an easy life. Oh no, we lost the tomb colonists. We're supposed to bring them all back alive. Or at least the same number back alive. I guess we could pick up a new one somewhere. Free enterprise. He's gone, one of them explains. They put him in a sort of crucible and extracted him into jars. They're selling him as ghost dust in the Nephrite quarter now. I don't think they actually thought he was a ghost. I think they thought he was a spy. They're not very friendly, the Kaganians, are they? Where were we going? Where are we going now? To the Chelenate. I don't believe we've found the Chelenate yet, but we'll update our notes here of the tour that we are doing here. Chelenate. Chelenate. Okay. We'll have to try to get another tomb colonist at some point. So we did bring these 5 dark drop coffee beans with us to do this. Offer a gift to the leopard, the royal clan of the Khan. Khan himself has a notorious weakness for coffee, and his court follows suit. We now have one favor, condescension. A long afternoon. You meet with an effusive official in a room of blue glass and pierced porcelain. You supply the customary compliments and courtesies while he nods complacently. Finally, you present a sample of the coffee. The official comes suddenly awake, inhales the scent of the coffee, glances regretfully at the porcelain screen behind him. A watcher? He bows to you 3 times and sends you on your way. Okay, so we need 5 condensation. We only have 1. Are there other ways to get condensation? Looks like drowning pearls, perhaps. We had the option to buy 1 of these, but we need 5 of them for this. If your suspicion has risen too high, this will reduce it. You need favors 3. Okay, we don't have any favors. We could cruise past the gates. I think this raised our suspicion last time. Yeah, I think it raised our suspicion, but we'll try it one more time. I think I actually failed this last time. Again, before we had much lower veils than we have now. Succeeded. We lost terror. Gained more suspicion. Your movements may be curtailed, but we did gain a memory of distant shores. Strength and brilliance. Light blazes from every gate and window. You glimpse the guards in gleaming uniforms, subterranean gardens of mauve and purple, hanging ornaments of scaled carnelian and jade, statues of warrior Khans past. The water is dark and calm. The sentries watch you with calm distrust. Not something we want to do all the time, I believe, because we are getting pretty high on suspicion. But again, I think that's where we'll end today's session. I mean, we did a lot of stuff. We haven't really made money per se, but we've been spending and using it along the way. We need to go to the Chelenate to finish our tour. We need to go to the Empire of Hands far to the east. What is this? Just somehow lost a carriage return here. So we need to go to the Sea of Lilies for our Shady Cook. I don't think we've found that yet. Somewhere to the East Central. We're kind of in the East Central right now, actually. Cannoneer wants to go to Acefall, also to the Far East. Okay, so we definitely need to go to the East for a number of different things. We have the Zoop now in our inventory to bring back to the Venture in London. We need to find a mirror box. It says from the Connate question mark. We haven't found anywhere so far in the Connate to buy a mirror catch box. We also haven't got a Clayman from Polytheme, although we know where Polytheme is at least. Let's see. Oh, Anth wants the report for Khan's Glory. Oh, so that's where we're at here. Yeah, we can't get the report. None of the options are available for creating reports. I think we have to raise our favors. We got to bring more coffee here. We're gonna have to need to do this 4 times, so we need like 20 coffee beans, basically, is what it looks like. Chapel of Lights, we haven't found anything about that yet. We do have a live specimen. We could talk to the Clerier. No, we have a strange catch, not a live specimen. Godfall, bring at least 5 candles. We didn't bring a bunch of candles for that. We're not doing that on this voyage, I should say. Haven't found Undercrow. We haven't gained meter salt. We haven't been to Iram or rarely even been there, but we haven't got a serpent image yet. Go and bold these place names. So we just went to Khan's Heart. Wait, Khan's Glory? Was Khan's Heart the other one down below? Yeah. Well, yeah, we just did Khan's Heart. So maybe we did that. Make sure to pause here. We did this? Question mark? I'm not sure. Oh, that's right. We did this. Return. We enticed a captain to go to Rack. Okay, we need to go back to Rack. We bought 2 ambiguous eoliths for this person. We haven't found any romantic literature or unread logs yet. We did some of the abyss stuff. We haven't found Eagle yet. And we decided that we figured out we could bring a crate of human souls to the Deviless on Mount Palmerston. So that's basically where we're at, and we'll continue this next time. All right.